Okay, my thoughts on today are about learned responses and whether they be good or bad, and I guess an update slash a thought process, some experiments on if I have learnt a trauma response. So I've had a really, really tough couple of weeks, tough few weeks, and the plan for the business now, our third attempt at hiring a sales team and replicating our sales process has ended unsuccessfully. Um, which cool, whatever. We'll move on. We'll try something new. And the plan that we've had in the tank is we'll just go back to me and Millie selling. We'll fill up all of the current tutors so that we're full on capacity, and then from there continue to sell. When we have a supply problem, we'll then mess around with the prices, with the guarantees, with the upfront cash collected and all this sort of stuff, just to make a much more profitable company so that it makes scaling the sales team easier on the back end. But I've just been super hesitant. Now the time has come around, I've got the opportunity and the time to do it. I'm just not. And I'm really struggling to find the motivation to do it. And it is as easy as just pick the phone up, just talk to these people. Like, they will close. And Millie has proven it. She's taken 4 sales calls in the last couple of days. She's done a total of 8 hours work and she's had 100% close rate, including the change of system where we now collect payment in call, which is funny because that's what our average SDR, the last 10 we hired, that's what they have averaged in a week's work. And Millie has done it in 8 hours when she is super rusty and she hasn't done a single sale since September. So that's over 10 months. And she was really nervous, but she just got on the calls and did it. And what was really funny is she turned around and she said, because she's been listening to all of the trainings I've done, and I've definitely been training above what's required for this role, trying to teach people actually how to sell rather than to just read the words that we have written, the script that we have developed. And what's funny is she's come out of these calls saying, I just read the script. I just read the words that we wrote. And this line is really good because of this reason. This is how they reacted to it. And that's the response. And what's funny is she's also noticed that she's not had to sell once. She's not had one objection, one overcome she's had to try to deal with, because we built the script in a way that pre-frames all of these problems, that it gets rid of all of the objections before we even ask if this is the right fit, before we roadmap them and all this sort of stuff. And it's unsurprising yet funny yet surprising again that it's happening. So it's unsurprising that it's a shocker that it works. We tested it out and we knew that it worked and we've developed it and spent so much time on it. We know it works. It's funny because it is still true. It's also a little surprising because every person we've ever hired for the sales role has always come up with some form of excuse as to why it's different, why, oh, you're the founders, it's different, people know, it's your business, you care more. And I'm like, well, you get paid, we don't. So you're incentivized, we're not. We don't tell anyone we're the founders. And Millie this is something funny she's found. She was like, never did I say anything that I was more than a student success lead. No one ever knows. And we designed it that way. So it's just very funny. It's just really funny to put this all into context, but it's also unsurprising. Yet the thing that is surprising, again, finishing off this thought, is that the justifications that people have, like the leads aren't as good, oh, it's the time of year, it's this or that, we just can't get to see them to do this or that. And it's funny because it's just never been true. And every time over the last 10 months, every time we've stepped in and we've done it ourselves, we've never found that the leads are any worse quality because it's exactly the same ad that's running, that the time of year has made no difference, which actually we were shocked to find. And that the biggest differentiator for people doing more was us to simply tell them that's what's needed and give a reason. And then they go, oh yeah, you're the expert, okay. And you're like, great. And then they actually get better results. So it's a win-win-win. So yeah, there's the update on how well Millie's been doing. And yeah, just my thoughts on this whole, like, have I developed a trauma response? And I think it's come from where we've tried so hard, and I mean so hard. Um, for example, from, let me just get the timing of this right. June to September, we were systemizing the business, putting everything in place for this business to run at an 8-figure company based on the previous experience that we've done. And that was about 10 hours a day, 7 days a week for those 3 to 4 months. And then we actually hired people and we overhired to make sure that it was easier for us. And we came in with a budget of money that we had saved up from last year so that we had a runway. We'd also upsold previous students on a great deal so that we had more cash flow, more of a wiggle room. And we had difficulty in that first September. We wanted to start with 6 salespeople. We only ended up starting with 3 contracts signed and them to turn up. And out of those 3, only 1 showed up, and we'd filled the calendars for that evening. And so I then had to step in and I did my full-time job of reviewing, training the sales team. I was then appointment setting for me and for all of them. And then I was doing their job on top. And that was looking like 16 to 16-hour days on average for pretty much September to January. And then in January, we tried another new sales system and did another push for hire. And that was, again, a busy time period. And then over the last few months, we took it, I say a few months, we took maybe 4 to 6 weeks, a little slower. We're only working, 4 to 8 hours a day. And then I spent a full month creating a new system for this new sales guys, this third attempt to come in better prepared than ever. So we created a 20-hour training for them. Literally all the sales experience that I have in a place that I know if I sold as an info product, I could probably sell it for 10K a pop. And we paid people to do that. And their first week they came in and they were performing much better than everyone else had in the past. And then it kind of went downhill from there because we also changed another system. And basically just slowly watching that burn, my enthusiasm for it has dropped even harder. And I've noticed that every time I fail, yes, you learn stuff, and yes, we get up and go again, but it's emotionally significantly more difficult each time. But each time I get up more excited than ever before to go again. But the fallout each time has been harder and harder. And I'm wondering, is that the trauma response? Have I actually learned a trauma response? Am I now potentially depressed, potentially I'm having panic attacks and anxiety over the thoughts of things that have or haven't happened in the future? And now I don't even want to partake in the game I know I'm great at. And statistically, I know I will win at and everything will work. And I just don't have the love for it. But I know as soon as I start, I will. So there you go. A little bit of insight into the struggles of the journey. And have I developed a trauma response? I don't know. But I'm going to try. I'm going to start. I've been really putting it off for about a week, unable to do anything, just completely crippled. But I'm going to try small. Just try and set for a fixed period of time, maybe 30 minutes, just set, and then take a call and see how it goes from there, baby steps. But then also trying to get back into the gym at the same time and just try and feel a bit more me. I gave everything to this business, more than everything, for the last 10 months, to be able to the point where I feel like I completely lost myself. And I'm just wondering, has that had a bit of a negative impact where we haven't won yet? And that leads me to an interesting quote I heard from Sam Altman, which is, hard work doesn't cause burnout, losing does. And maybe is that it? Like, I wouldn't say I'm burnt out. I'd say I've got something. There you go. Bit of a morbid one, but it'll be nice to have this documented for me, look back on at times, and just to know, I know I've got a smiley face right now, but how hard this has been. Um, yeah, like I need to go see someone. I need to see a therapist or something, which I have tried in the past, but yeah, that's where we're at. So those are my thoughts for the day. Lots of love. Peace.